Hello again, I've been Pinion here with another knife fight, and this is between the Camillus Hustle versus the Kershaw filter. So, for me, this is actually a pretty tough one. I probably would go with the Camillus. But it's a pretty tough decision because they both have so many advantages and a few disadvantages to the other. So for instance, handle-wise, you're going to get a stronger handle with the full middle handle on the Kershaw filter. Whereas on the Hustle, you get nice G10, but and it's over some nested steel liners, but they're not full nested steel liners, as you could probably tell from there if you can see that. But nevertheless, it's quite rigid. There is a slight amount of give to it. Pocket clip wise are pretty much the same. I like the clip better on the Kershaw because it's a lower ride. You don't have all this knife sticking out like on the Camillus. Plus I like the black clip, but that's my personal preference. So like if they're sitting in your pocket, here's how it would be. Kershaw would be hidden better. This one would not be. But it's just one position pocket clip on either one. They both do their job nevertheless. Deployment wise, you get the speed safe on the filter, and you can either use the thumb studs or the flipper. It's an assisted opener. It opens up very quickly. So then on the Camillus, it's still pretty quick, very smooth. And that's with the thumb studs. So that wasn't much pressure applied to it at all. It just flew out. Now the handles or the blade shapes are very similar. They have these drop point blade shapes that have slight recurves to them. Now as blade steel goes, well actually first let me talk about lockup. Camillus has a liner lock. It's a fairly thick liner lock. It's pretty strong, but I would say there's going to be more of an advantage to this frame lock on the Kershaw. It's probably going to be a stronger lockup on the Kershaw than it will be on the Camillus. Price-wise, you can get the Kershaw for less than the Camillus. Usually not very much less, maybe like $10 at best. So they're fairly close in price. Blade steel, let's talk about blade steel. Well, actually, let's talk about blade strength. They both have fairly good thickness on blades. The Camillus is going to be a bit thicker, and it's going to maintain that thickness for a good while. And I think it offers a much stronger tip. Not by like a whole lot, but a little bit better. Especially considering the steel. The steel on the Camillus is going to be better. It's AUS 8 compared to 3 CR 13 on the Kershaw. And this is the titanium bonded AUS 8, so it actually improves upon a lot of the qualities you want the blade to have. Corrosion resistance, toughness, edge retention, stuff like that. Whereas 3CR13, it's going to be softer. It's going to need to be maintained more often, depending on use. Now this is black washed, so that's black oxide that's been stone washed, so it offers pretty good corrosion resistance, but this as is, I know this is very corrosion resistant, thanks to the addition of being titanium bonded. It's increased quite a bit, so I would say just you'd get better performance out of the Camillus, I think. They both are hollow ground, and they both slice very well. But you're going to get a stronger tip out of the Camillus, I think, for stabbing. This still maintains a good thickness for a good portion of the blade, but it tapers very rapidly to that thin point. Now, comfortability on the handle, I'd have to give that to the Kershaw again. It just feels much better in hand than the Camillus. Camillus feels so angular, not as rounded as the Kershaw. You do get a lanyard hole on the Camillus as opposed to the Kershaw, if that's a big thing to you. Both center in the handle. Both are rapid to deploy. And they're fairly good budget-wise. So, you know, it really depends on what's your preference. Yeah, more than likely, the Kershaw's going to be cheaper than the Camillus. But, you know, depends. You're probably going to get a stronger frame and stronger lock with the Kershaw, plus the addition of assisted opening. But you're probably going to get a much better blade steel on the Camillus, and still pretty strong enough frame and strong enough to lock up. So it really depends. You're going to get a stronger tip on one as opposed to the other, and both are going to be excellent for slicing. So anyway, that is my knife fight for you. You decide. Alright, thanks for watching and God bless.